The following episode contains discussion of crimes, drug use, and other sensitive topics that may be disturbing to some listeners. Strong language may also be present. The opinions and views expressed by guests are their own and do not reflect those of the host, production team, or affiliates of Trail of Clues. Listener discretion is advised. Hi everyone and welcome back. In our last episode, we heard from Shawn's Aunt Julie, a woman whose love for her nephew has carried her through years of uncertainty, heartache, and unanswered questions. But Julie and Luke haven't been walking this road alone. In this episode, Julie's friend Vicky joins the conversation. Someone who has stood beside her through the hardest days, digging for the truth and refusing to let Shawn's story fade into silence. Together they share details, emotional moments, and the reality of what it's like to fight for answers when it feels like no one's listening. Their voices are raw, honest, and unfiltered, and what they reveal might change how you see this case. I'm Kelly Kokenauer, and this is Trail of Clues, the disappearance of Shawn Antill.
My name is Vicky Warren. I've been friends with Julie since middle school when she moved to Toronto. I became acclimated with Shawn's case as seeing it on Facebook, and I messaged Julie. When they would get on their searches, they would come to my house afterwards to warm up, and I haven't stopped. Here I am.
Tell me about some of the work you've done on Shawn's case, some things you've done with Julie and Luke.
I mainly focus on social media aspects, TikTok, Facebook, searching names, getting information. I can't do the physical part because I do have some health problems, but yeah, social media is my venue.
She's being very modest, Kelly.
Yes.
She does a lot of the back searching for court stuff,
Yes.
too.
I search a lot of court cases, a lot of jail rosters, warrant lists.
How has your role evolved over time?
Well, I guess it's evolved for all of us. It's just, it's like you take 3 steps forward and 10 steps back. That's how I feel. The first 3 years was horrible. Absolutely horrible. We had no help. We were pushed away. We were told to stop. We were told stop. They need to catch up. We would hold back a little bit, and then we wouldn't hear anything. Wouldn't get emails back. Wouldn't get texts back. Wouldn't get any answers back. Todd coming onto Shawn's case was a absolute blessing. And now with the new sheriff, Tuggle, we're blessed because that man wants to see Shawn found. We didn't have that kind of backing with the last sheriff and the original Detective Toker.
How many detectives have worked on Shawn's case since 2017?
We have Morgan Knight, Robert Toker, Detective Captain Todd Smith now. We have a couple of deputies that actually help out a little bit when they need, because they do need new officers out there. They're hiring.
Plus, that was just Harrison County.
Yeah, that was just Harrison County. We've got backing from multiple counties.
Jefferson County, Belmont County, Monroe County, Stark County, Summit County, Wayne County,
Columbia, Holmes.
We had more help from those counties in the beginning than we got from Harrison County, unfortunately.
Yes.
And plus we had Agent Lacey, and we had Agent Dugan, and we had Charles Snyder. Those were FBI
those
and
were,
BCI.
yeah, yes.
Do you think this case has ever been considered cold?
No.
Yes.
Well, at the beginning, because
Listen, Myers wanted it deemed a
Yeah.
cold case.
Yes.
Myers fought for it to be a cold case. We pretty much made that impossible for him
yes,
until he said, and he is on News 9 saying, we're turning this case over to Ohio BCI.
Was it ever turned over?
It was turned over, but then it was put back in Harrison's hands after we got Todd. And as far as I know, Todd said he hasn't had much help from the FBI or BCI recently. I can only speculate, but I believe that the FBI and BCI are probably conducting more law enforcement cases out there, if that makes sense. I'm probably thinking that's why he's not getting as much help from them as he was in the beginning, because they're probably got other active cases they're looking into, other law enforcement out there.
So I don't know the area, and neither does any of the listeners, but it's a very rural area. What challenges has this caused by being so rural when it comes to searches?
Needle in a haystack.
yes. A lot of farmland, a lot of vast farmland, a lot of vast coal mining land. The lake, I don't know if you know how big Tappan Lake is. Tappan Lake's pretty big. And it's just not Harrison County. You know, like I said, we've been to Belmont County. We've been to all the surrounding counties.
How would you say Shawn's case compares to other missing persons cases?
In some aspects, I'll watch first, or not First 48, but 48 Hours or Dateline, when they're telling a story about someone. And then a lot of them, I'm like, holy crap, that sounds like Shawn's case. The gang activity, the drug activity, the sex trafficking. It's just ongoing. And it's not just Shawn's case. I would say it's 90% of the cases, missing cases. Now, I don't know about the child stuff, but I'm sure that plays a part in it. But I also want to say that we won't give up. We're not going anywhere.
What details of Shawn's last known movements are verified?
Supposedly he was at a McDonald's. They can't see who's in the car, but Shawn's bank card was used. Now, I don't think we ever pinpointed which McDonald's that was. Did we? Was it Yerkesville? It was at Yerkesville. And then the pings on his phone from where Luke is stuck on, because where the pings on his phone are, it seems like it's going between houses. Like he feels that he's going from heat source to heat source to get warm. There was pings from a drug dealer's home in Steubenville. There's pings from
which they do have a statement from said drug dealer.
Yes.
That Shawn was there. He did purchase drugs, and unfortunately that person is now deceased, so we can't go back and re-question him, but he did verify that Shawn, Luke, and Preston were there in Steubenville, picked up drugs, and left Steubenville.
And mind you, Preston had borrowed a man's car named Kevin Jackson to go to Steubenville and pick up Shawn, and they went back to Yerkesville.
And they did those drugs with Kevin Jackson.
He said that him and Shawn was snorting a line, and Preston was smoking it in the corner by himself. We haven't heard or talked to that Kevin Jackson in a long time. I'm positive that Todd had gotten a hold of him at some point when he first took over Shawn's case, which The day we met Todd. It was March 17th, 2021.
Yeah, that's when Todd took over Sean's case, was in
Yes.
March.
So we've discussed a lot of the details about where Shawn was and who he was with. Has law enforcement confirmed that Preston was the last person with Shawn?
I'm going to say they have, because the new flyer that is put out by Ohio BCI states Preston was the last person to see Shawn Antill in Cadiz, Ohio.
So do we know any timestamps of what time all of this was going on from the phone pings, or have you ever been told what time they were there or anything?
Yeah, Shawn's last phone ping was at 6:37 p.m.
On the December 23rd.
Yes, which is in the Tuscarawas River, which means all the previous phone pings took place that afternoon, that evening. Preston and Shawn's phones both pinged together at every location that Shawn's phone pinged, Preston's phone pinged.
Until 6:30.
We know that they were together until 6:37. 6:37, my guess is when they got to Harrison County or Cadiz specifically, because they would have lost phone signal. They wouldn't have had any phone pings. They didn't have signal. They had to go to McDonald's to get signal to use the phone. But that doesn't explain why Shawn's last phone ping is in the Tuscarawas River.
Right.
So back to the microtel video for just a second. Do we know a timestamp for that? Was it after Shawn's last phone ping?
I want to say it was like at 11 o'clock that night. It was around 11 o'clock that night, because they specifically said it was still the 23rd. So it wouldn't have been after midnight, because that would have been the 24th.
Right.
So we've mentioned a lot of names tonight. Has anyone else given any statements to law enforcement or been questioned by law enforcement that you're aware of?
Yes. Yes. I don't feel comfortable saying
Their names out loud, because, well, number one, we promised we wouldn't say their names. And they don't feel safe. They think that, if these people did this to Shawn, they can do this to them too. Whenever this is all said and done, I'm pretty sure we will find that it's verified and confirmed that there is a lot of gang activity, and a lot of people around here are afraid of those gangs, and a lot of people locally don't even know that those gangs exist. I'm gonna say me and Vicky uncovered the double R's in the Ohio Valley, and the scope and the depth of their activities. Law enforcement were more apt to stay away from that. And because of Shawn's case, this Ohio Valley now has an organized drug unit, or an organized crime unit.
Out of Belmont County.
Belmont County.
It's a drug interdiction unit.
Organized crime unit. There's both.
Yeah. And they do a lot of the drug and gang activity,
which is coming back to sex trafficking.
Yes. Which
you see a whole lot of it in Ohio now. And I'm pretty sure they can't say it out loud. I'm going to say it out loud. Allegedly, Shawn Luke's case has brought a lot of eye-opening information to law enforcement in this Ohio Valley, and they might not be able to say it out loud yet, but I'm gonna scream it from the freaking rooftop. Shawn Luke's case, as unfortunate as it is benefiting to make this Ohio Valley a better place, a safer place, somewhere that you would be proud to raise a family again.
Do you know if law enforcement ever did any reenactments of that night based on Preston's story?
I know of.
Not that we're aware of, no.
Do you know if anyone was ever asked to take a polygraph?
Many. And I'm sure there's many more to come. Preston's
Preston failed his.
Yeah, he failed his. He was asked what, 3 or 4 questions?
3.
3 questions, and he failed his.
Has anyone ever refused a
Toker
polygraph?
failed that too. Whenever someone gets a polygraph test, you're supposed to, the law enforcement officer requesting the polygraph is supposed to write a kind of like a pre-story, a questionnaire of what you want asked and why you want it asked. Toker didn't even write one.
I can't say I'm surprised.
No, I'm not.
So really, the questions they asked are probably questions that we didn't need asked. It was probably the guy probably didn't know what to ask. To be honest, and we don't know what questions were asked.
Yeah, we do.
Well, yeah.
He was asked if he felt responsible for Shawn's disappearance. That's the one he failed.
Yeah.
He was asked 3 questions. That is the one he failed. He asked if he knew where Shawn was. He said no. And they asked if, what was the other one? I have it written down somewhere. If he felt responsible, if he knew where he was. I don't remember the other question. Todd will tell me. He'll tell me again. I'll ask him. But I know he was only asked 3 questions, and I know he failed his polygraph. So Preston Yates is definitely not cleared.
And not only that, like, of the other people that were polygraphed, it's very hard to get a good reaction to a polygraph because they're under the influence of drugs. Whether they're under the influence of drugs as they're doing the polygraph, or even if they even have it still in their system. So a lot of those probably need redone. Because a lot of the people have been in and out of jail, in and out of prison.
Where is Preston now?
He is in Noble County. He's doing a 5 or 6 year stint. He gets out like in 2029. Stacy went to the bar where Julie's friend worked, and she wanted to talk to her. Well, she wasn't there yet. She said, I'll be back. She went across the street to the other bar that she had been at. When she went outside, I guess she had some words with somebody. And when she went to go back over to the other bar, that nobody knows if she was pushed or if she like tripped, but she had been hit by a van. And that took her life.
And then Preston was arrested. Did it have anything to do with Stacy's being hit?
I don't know for sure. I don't want to speculate on that. I don't want to say anything that's not true. But it's kind of weird. Stacy was trying to get to Melissa. Not Melissa, her sister, but Julie's friend Melissa. She needed to tell her something. Unfortunately, she didn't make it.
Did she tell anyone what she wanted to tell Melissa?
Not that we know of. Not that we know of.
Had she tried to call Melissa or anything before she went to the bar?
I don't know. Julie's not up here right now. I don't know about that. I just know that she tried to get a hold of Melissa at the bar where Melissa worked at that time.
Some of you may be wondering who Stacy is. Stacy is Shawn's mother, and she tragically lost her life. And just like with Shawn's case, the rumor mill came alive when Stacy died. We will get into that in a future episode. So for now, let's get back to the interview. So I want to go back to Preston's polygraph real quick. Do we know why only 3 questions was asked?
No, we don't. Like we said, Joker totally screwed that up. I don't even think we know the person that asked the questions even knew what questions to really ask. Maybe that's why those questions, weren't in a deep dive, like something deeper,
Do you know if anyone ever refused to take a polygraph when it comes to Shawn's disappearance?
I don't know if they refused, because I'm not aware of the exact list of names that were actually polygraphed. I mean, we know a few names, but Justin Coe, Caius Coe, um, Preston Wallace,
Lake and Jordan. Lake and Jordan needs polygraph.
Yes.
She actually, she went to, I don't know what it's called around here, but I'm going to call it Jefferson Behavioral Center. It's, the mental place. She went in there and checked herself in. And the nurse contacted Harrison County because she said that she was there because she knew information on Shawn Antill's homicide and she couldn't cope with life. But then they refused to polygraph test her because they said that she would not be coherent enough.
She was in a methamphetamine psychosis. She was either pushed or jumped out of a 2-story window
In Cadiz.
in Cadiz.
Was this before she checked herself in?
Yes.
Yes. After she got out of said hospital, she was given Todd the runaround to meet because she kept saying she wanted to talk to him. She wanted to talk to him. Well, he would go to talk to her, and she was in psychosis, or they wouldn't let him talk to her parents. But
yeah, Lake and Jordan needs questioned. That was Preston's girlfriend at the time, which is also one of Brittany Cunningham's best friends.
Yes.
It's amazing to me how connected all these people are to each other.
I know, it's insane. That's why Toker never should have been on Shawn's case to begin with. He was related to Brittany Cunningham.
Yeah, that's such a conflict of interest. I'm surprised he didn't step down himself.
That's what we were saying. We didn't understand. And then the louder we got and the more questions we raised, well, the heavier the stiff arm we got.
So, Vicki, what details about Preston's account stood out to you?
I believe Preston lured Shawn to where they were going. I believe that it was also a step up for Preston because Preston, outright a few months after that, Preston got his gang tattoo, Yates, on the back of his back.
Are any of the other people we talked about tonight in that same gang?
Justin Wallace. I'm not sure if the Coe boys are actually. Yes, the Coe boys are actually in it. All kinds of. There's a list of names. We've actually tracked down the first top 4 of the gang members, their names, through social media. I mean, these people don't even hide it. It's right smack dab in your face. They've got tattoos, the R's, 2 R's, or the hashtag 1818.
Out of all of these witnesses and people that law enforcement has spoke to, do you know if any of them have actually been considered a suspect in Shawn's disappearance?
Yes. Preston Yates.
Allegedly.
Preston Yates, Justin Wallace, Caius Coe, Destin Coe, Jacob DiLoretto, Tina Ray Strother, Jeremy Evans, which goes by J-Rock, Joshua Burgett, who goes by Juan Izzy, and nobody's been cleared. Nobody has been cleared. That needs to be shouted from the rooftops. They're walking around thinking everything is all fine and dandy. It's not over. Nobody has been cleared.
Do you feel that anything that these people have said to law enforcement is credible?
The suspects?
Yes.
No, because they push it off on other people. Maybe you should talk to this person. Maybe you should talk to that person. Another one is Stephanie Baylog.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, Shawn owed her $100. And there was a hit put on Shawn for $100 for meth.
Did any searches extend past Route 250 where Preston claims to have let him out?
Yes. They've searched out there. They've searched Dickerson Church Road, Jug Run, the reservoir down past Tina Ray's house, which
is in Cadiz.
In Cadiz, yes. Dickerson Church Road is outside of Cadiz, but in Cadiz city limits. Jug Run is in Belmont County, and it's right on the Belmont County, Harrison County line.
Plus, they've done searches in Yerixville.
Yeah.
So earlier, Julie, you mentioned that Shawn's bank card was used at McDonald's.
Yes, ma'am.
Has it been used since, like in the days after his disappearance? Was there any other usage on it? No, ma'am.
Nope, not since the 23rd of December. Nothing on his phone and nothing on his card. Net spend. It was a net spend card.
Was his social media activity checked?
It was checked. It's still being checked. Social media activity, as far as we know, and this is not allegedly, the only person Shawn had any social media negativity with is Jacob DiLoretto.
And that was the father of her baby, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
It just so happens he was in rehab in Hamilton down by Cincinnati at the time, but he got a holiday pass to come home, and there are definitely recovered messages stating that they had something planned and the plans are on and he was almost home. And
mind you, that was December 23rd.
Yes. And in Shawn's social media, he is the only person that had any type of beef with Shawn was Jacob DiLoretto, who is also a double R.
Besides the phone pings on the last known activity of Shawn's, was there anything else from his cell phone records that brought any information?
I don't think so. But Shawn has multiple Facebook pages, so I'm not really sure if they got into all of them.
Now, here's something that's very weird, and I want to put it out there because I don't want to forget. In the beginning, when we had Toker told me that there was a voicemail on Shawn's phone. It came from Brittany Cunningham's family, stating that we know you're the reason Brittany is on drugs again, and when we see you, we're going to take care of you. Now, when I asked Todd about that voicemail, he tells me he's never heard it.
I just have a feeling that Toker got rid of some information.
Listen, honey, that you're giving him a lot of credit. He didn't put anything in Shawn's file to begin with.
True.
Wait, there was nothing in Shawn's file when Todd Smith
Not
took
much.
over?
Nope, not much.
And I don't know how that happened because we sent everything. Everything we got, we sent.
Listen, I sent it to more than one place.
Right.
Thank God I did.
Yes, you did.
Because like when I said, when you were asking if there was any other officers involved in Shawn's case, any other detectives, in the beginning, Ron Myro worked at Belmont County. Now, he is my family. So whenever this all started happening, that was the only place that I felt comfortable reaching out to. And that is also the very first place that me and my brother went together to any type of law enforcement outside of Harrison County. And that's when Justin Wallace sent me that threat. And my brother said, we're going to Belmont County right now. We're going to go talk to Ron. So we did go to Belmont County that day, and we didn't get to talk to Ron because he was off, but we did get to talk to Mr. Duvall. So Mr. Duvall took all of our information that day. So I have Duvall's email, who I sent stuff to. Anytime I sent something to Harrison County, it also went to Belmont County. So stuff that Toker may not have put in Shawn's file, Belmont County has a file, and they still have everything.
Yes.
Jefferson County also has a file on Shawn's case. They have a lot of stuff. So, no, we did not put all of our eggs in one basket, per se, because I did not feel comfortable with Harrison County from the very fucking get-go. So, I felt comfortable with Belmont County because I have a family member there. Well, he's retired now, but he was there. And that's where I sent everything that I sent email to Toker. You'll see one in my sent emails straight to Belmont County, too, because I did not feel comfortable just sending it to Harrison.
So we mentioned the Microtel camera and the McDonald's camera. Do you know if law enforcement gathered video footage from any other cameras?
I don't think there was any other. Well, the county home, I don't know. The county home has cameras, but they said it was a shadow, that nobody was there.
Reflection. It was a reflection off the glass, which is a lie. Is a blatant lie, because the woman who works there was afraid to say anything in front of the cops. Me and Luke and Bruce were out there one day because we knew Harrison County was supposed to be going and questioning people at the county home. Luke wanted to go out there at the same time. So we did. We went out to Harrison County home. We sat in the parking lot. We watched Toker, and I believe it was Morgan Knight, watched them questioning people. And there was a woman who walked over because they wouldn't let us near them as they were questioning, which is okay, whatever. One of the nurses there came over to my brother, asked him if he was the missing boy's dad, and he said yes. She handed him a piece of paper, and it said, "This is my name, this is my number. Someone did absolutely knock on the county home door last night. Our protocol is to call the sheriff's department. If it's after hours, we have to call the sheriff's department. They have to come and clear everything for safety reasons." They did not make a phone call to the sheriff's department that night. They didn't open the door. They didn't answer the door. They should have called the sheriff's department if anyone was on that property. They did not follow their own protocol. So the woman was afraid to speak up to the cops. But she did hand my brother that piece of paper and was like, someone did knock on the door. And this is my phone number. Call me. And Luke did contact her. And that's how we found that information out. Like, we didn't just pull it out of thin air. Harrison County's not ever going to verify that because, well, it happened in Harrison County. They didn't follow their own protocol. So the county would have to hold themselves accountable. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. So the story they told was, am I understanding that basically something could have been picked up, but they're saying that it was a reflection?
Yes.
Here's my theory, Kelly, on that. Shawn didn't knock on the county home door. Preston did. Preston knocked on that county home door to see if he could use the phone because his car was stuck right up the hill, right behind the county home. So Preston came down, tried to knock on the county home door to see if he could use the phone. Nobody answered the door. So he had to make his way to Microtel so he could use the phone. Harrison County is not going to verify that someone knocked on that door because then they're going to have to freaking answer for their county. It wasn't Shawn that knocked on that door, it was Preston.
And mind you, we went every which way you can go from the county home to that Microtel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've done our own reenactments.
Yeah.
And we have, timed how long it would take, because Preston told us, oh yeah, Kelly, I'm so sorry. I did forget about that one story Preston told us. He said that Shawn called him from the McDonald's in Cadiz. He had to go to McDonald's to use his phone. Shawn called Preston, said, you got to come pick me up now. I'm at Cadiz McDonald's. Preston said he picked Shawn up, and Shawn jumped in the car and said, hurry up, man, she's coming. So they drove out Route 9, which is the back way to Brittany Cunningham's house. They drove out Route 9. They cut up Clear Fork Road, Upper Clear Fork. Then they hit Barger Road, then up the hill to where he got his car stuck. And that's where they both got out of the car. Preston ran one way, Shawn ran the other, and he turned around and looked, and he saw Shawn standing in the road, but he saw headlights coming up the hill behind them, and he kept running, and Shawn didn't. He don't know what happened to Shawn after that. So that was another story from Preston, yes. And I think it might also be smart to include that the original FBI agent that we spoke with was also relieved of their duties around the same time as Toker.
That's interesting.
Agent Lisa Dugan was her name.
How long was she on the case?
Months. Not long at all.
And
then we got Lacey. Yep.
What was her role in the case? I mean, of course, FBI, but I mean, do you know anything she was working on?
Whenever I spoke to her, I only spoke to her a couple times. The first time I spoke to her was when we were at the red brick house on 250. And that is where Jacob Giolretto and who lived in that red brick house? Do you remember? And I believe it was Lake and Jordan's or somebody's relative who lived right there in the trailer. Anyway, this red brick house, it's abandoned. And someone had given us an anonymous tip that Shawn was in that abandoned house. So we went out there, me and Luke, and I got a phone call, and it said FBI on it. So I answered it, and it was Special Agent Lisa Dugan. She introduced herself. She asked me to please make sure we did not go in the premises until law enforcement got there. I said, well, too late because my brother's already in there. She said, I need you to get him out of the house, and I need you guys to sit outside and wait for us. And I'm like, who are we waiting for? And she said, Harrison County. I said, I don't think so. We're not waiting for them anymore. We've already waited long enough. And that was the first time I talked to her. And she said, we ended our conversation with, it's regretful. I'm sorry that you're not complying. I have to write that down. I said, write down whatever you want. But we're not waiting for Harrison County. Harrison County's not helping us in the way that we need. They've already proven that. And we're going in and we're looking for Shawn ourselves. Luke was already in the building. He had already taken the wood off of the door. He was already in there. I went to the door. I told him, hey, the FBI wants us out of here. He said, fuck them. I said, okay, that's kind of what I told her anyway. He said, well, what did she say? I said, she wants us to wait for Harrison County. And he laughed. He said, no, we're not waiting on Harrison County anymore. I said, that's what I told her. Harrison County did show up there. They did not have dogs, which was one of the things Luke was like, what are you guys going to do? Same thing I'm doing. Unless you have a dog, you're not doing anything more than I'm doing. You know, this is my son. I have a personal interest in this. You don't. Like, come here looking for my son with a dog, or don't tell me to get out. And Harrison County left. And I don't believe they ever took a dog back to that house to this day. And the second time I talked to Dugan was right after Preston Yates was arrested. She asked if I had any personal knowledge of Preston Yates. I told her I did not, never met him, didn't know anything about him, never heard the name until Shawn disappeared. And that was pretty much the end of that conversation. So yeah, then we got Lacey.
We've talked about how rural the area is. Is Harrison County a small department?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Do you think resources have been limited when it comes to Shawn's
Very.
case?
Very. One thing I've learned about most of the smaller counties, like Jefferson County, Harrison County, we don't have cadaver dogs. We had to reach out to ODNR to get cadaver dogs, and then we found out about Texas EquiSearch. But when we got a hold of Texas EquiSearch, they were all for it. Sheriff Myers and Toker wouldn't let them in the county.
They were going to arrest Luke the day that the dogs were out there. That we had some people who were willing to volunteer their time and their dogs and help us search for Shawn. And we're talking, this was in the first 24 hours that we knew that Shawn was gone. They met us out there behind the county home on Barger Road. And Toker told my brother, if those dogs' paws hit the ground, you're going to jail because you don't have permission from Harrison County to be on their property. They made us leave.
Well, I mean, how difficult is it to get permission? Like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, why aren't they doing that themselves?
Exactly. That was a very good question, ma'am. And that question there that you just asked out loud, you can ask the same question as to why there was 2 unprocessed rape kits and Shawn sweats in the same bag together. That's a big why too. Toker is a very bad human.
I assume those kits have now been processed since Toker is no longer there.
I don't know.
That's a good question. One of the girls who that it was, one of them, spoke to us personally, face to face, the day that BCI was in Harrison County going through Brittany Krankovich's house. She walked up to the car because she saw the hashtag Bring Shawn Home. We had it painted on the back. She walked up to the car. She told us who she was. She expressed her condolences. She said that she was on her way to the courthouse because now there's a detective who she believes will get her case processed, which was Todd. And the longer people are unaware and the longer that people don't realize this stuff exists right in your own backyard, how do they know what to look for? Until the public and everybody is aware. I had a girl reach out to me. She was married to a double R. She didn't even know that he was in a gang until she saw and heard one of our posts, and she reached out and talked to me, and she was like, well, he's got an 1818 tattoo, but I had no idea what it meant. People are married to these people and they don't even know.
So they definitely keep it on the down low.
Yes.
Yes. Like our counties around here wanted to laugh us out of existence with this theory because they don't want to deal with it. I'm sorry, but I think the law enforcement around here are freaking half scared of the gangs too.
Has there ever been any arrests in Shawn's case or warrants handed out for anyone?
No.
Not on Shawn's case in particular, no, but there's been a whole lot of arrests made on other charges because they know the people that are involved. They know the players, so they watch them. They keep them under scrutiny. Then whenever they mess up, they arrest them. Now, it might not be on Shawn's charges right now, but it's on drug charges or breaking and enterings or domestic violence, or there's a whole array of different cases they're catching. Unfortunately, no one has ever been served a warrant or anything pertaining to Shawn himself. No, those arrests have not been handed out. Those arrests and warrants will like Todd said, I'm not going to jeopardize anything that we've got right now on some kind of stupid speculation that they're going to get off on. Whenever he nails them, he's going to nail them to the cross because that's what they deserve.
Do you know if a prosecutor has ever looked at this case, or has there ever been any talk of a grand jury?
Lauren Knight, she was running for prosecutor in Harrison County during Shawn's the first couple years of Shawn's case, and I have reached out to her, sent her Shawn's flyers, and she said she was watching the case. She's very much involved in the case now.
So is Belmont's prosecutor.
So is Belmont's prosecutor. They're working together. Yes, so that I feel very confident that we do have the backing of the prosecutors.
Julie, you told me a story a while back. There's something written on the wall in the jail.
Oh, yes, ma'am. That's in Belmont County. And it states in one of their jail cells, I know who murdered Shawn Antill.
Was it ever looked into, or has anyone ever taken credit for writing that?
No one's ever taken credit for writing it. I believe that Todd and a couple other detectives might have been trying to run down who was in said jail cell at what time to try to pinpoint who could have written it, but I have never gotten back anything positive one way or another.
Do you know if the jail houses both male and females?
Belmont County is male and female, but it's separate pods.
What has been the most frustrating roadblock for you?
So many.
Well, in the beginning, it was Toker and
Yes.
Joe Myers. In the middle, I'm going to say it was all the lies, all the different rumors and the different stories.
Leading us on a wild goose chase for so many years.
Right.
Um,
And the frustration in the end, I'm going to say, is just the waiting, just the, it's a torment like no one can even understand unless you've been in a position.
right.
It's like waiting for a disgusting human lottery. It's like every time they say human remains found, I pray so hard that somebody gets to, find some kind of relief. Somebody's family gets some kind of relief. That's why I say it's kind of like a sick human lottery, because it's like, you never know if it could be our boy or not, but somebody found theirs. Yeah, that's torment. Every time you hear of a new remains found, it's torment.
What piece of evidence do you wish you had?
Shawn's phone. Shawn's other phone. I wish I had Shawn's other phone.
Vicky, I know how this has impacted Julie and Luke, but how has it personally impacted you?
Well, it's put me in the hospital. I've just been progressively getting worse with my heart. Last October, I was put in the hospital for a heart attack, and I was diagnosed with broken heart syndrome. And they say it's stress-reduced anxiety is what causes that from a heartbreak. Could be a death. Could be a lot of things. But I believe Shawn's case had a... I believe Shawn's case has impacted it, but I'm not leaving these people. These people are my family. I didn't even want to tell Julie and Luke that I was in the hospital.
We love you.
I didn't want them to know that it was affecting me like that. But
We already knew.
But I feel better. I'm doing much better. I left the hospital 8 days later on medication, and I actually feel pretty damn good for as bad as, I mean, I literally felt like death for years. But I wouldn't leave my house. There was like 6 months would go by, and I wouldn't have left my house. Um, so I guess I had a touch of agoraphobia. Um, but I feel better, and that's not going to stop me. If anything, it's pushing me because I feel better.
I'm glad you're feeling better.
Thank you. I'm never going to let Julie and Luke to do this by themselves. That's just not, I can't do that.
You're a fantastic friend because I've worked with a lot of different missing persons families over the years, and a strong support system is very key for them.
I don't consider them friends. They're my family. Julie and Luke are my brother and sister.
And we feel the same way. We love you.
I love you too.
Vicky, what would justice look like in your eyes?
Justice would be sitting in that courtroom every day, watching every one of them go down. I don't care for how long it is, because they got to live with that. And I don't know how anybody can live with this type of stuff on their conscience. But we're going to be in that courtroom. We're going to wear our shirts. And they're going to have to look at each one of us every day.
What would you like the public to know about Shawn's case?
That it's still very alive, very active, and it's being worked from every angle possible.
Please share his flyers on your social medias. It's my social media page is Vicky Joe on Facebook, VICKIEJO. We have the hashtag Bring Shawn Home page. We had it private there for a while, but I think I'm going to open it back up so people can come there. Yes, share. See something, say something. You hear someone talk about it, you don't have to call me and Julie. You can call and talk to Todd. Todd will, if you're sent to his voicemail, he will call you back. We also have an email. It's hashtag Bring Shawn Luke Antill Home 2017 at gmail.com. That has nothing to do with law enforcement. We just have that for if somebody would want to contact us out of social media. But it's not over. We're not going anywhere. So if you're listening to this, we're not going anywhere.
TikTok.
Clock's ticking.
Vicky, if Shawn's listening right now, what would you say to him?
I love you. Call your dad.
Yes. Call your dad.
But for the record, you don't think he walked away either?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And mind you, there's a lot of stuff that we can't talk about. A lot. But I just want the public to know that we're still here. We're still searching. And we won't stop at anything. We have resources now. And we're going to use those resources.
Is there anything else that you guys really want me to ask and put out there?
Yeah. If people are hearing any of this podcast, I want them to know that there are things that we could not put on this podcast, but we still know. And law enforcement knows. And well, I hope they do the right thing. If they don't do the right thing, things are going to be much worse on them. The prosecutor in Harrison County has already made a statement to which just one person gets a chance. They're going to cut a deal with one person because they know there's more than one person involved. So if you're hearing this and you're that one person who's got any type of goodness in you, empathy, balls, whatever you want to call it in your world, get to somebody, because they're only going to cut a deal for one person. The rest of you are going to be hit as hard as possible. And if we have to do this all on our own, without anyone's help, and not one single one of you want to come forward, then every single one of you will be hit with the same thing. No deals. Just for one person. So if you're that one person, come on with it. And that's all.
Talking with Julie and Vicky reminds me that behind every missing persons case are people, real people, who wake up every day with questions that may never be answered. Their strength isn't loud, but it's relentless. It shows up in every phone call, every late-night conversation, and every lead that they refuse to give up on. You can hear the exhaustion in their voices, but you can also hear something else, hope. The kind that refuses to die even if the trail is getting cold. As I listened to their stories, I kept thinking about how pain and truth are often intertwined, and how the people closest to the loss are the ones holding the most important clues. In the next episode, we'll take a deeper look into Shawn's life, the clues, who's behind them, and why this story still doesn't make sense. Because for Luke, Julie, Vicky, and for Shawn, silence is not an option. Follow us on TikTok and YouTube. Join the discussion on the Trail of Clues private Facebook group page. Until next time, I'm Kelly Kokenauer, and this is Trail of Clues, the disappearance of Shawn Antill.